when we come to the time of Omar, the attacks of Persia and the Persian land, this didn't come also for the sake of attack or the sake of assault. As a matter of fact, it started by fighting in the peninsula, in Hira. Hira was a part of Arabia, but it was under the patronage of the Persian sovereigns. So there was a contact between Hira and the Persians to protect them against the Muslims. In the same time, the Sasanian Empire began to decline to such an extent that there became a vacuum after the deterioration of the Sasanian Empire. And these were the neighbors of the Muslims in Arabia. So fighting in Hira, which was a part of Arabia, and the vacuum in Persia led to the Sasanian to enter the Sasanian land, and the Sasanian hereditary system collapsed immediately after the attack. This does not mean that we are apologetic about all later attacks. Of course, when we find later sultans of the Ottomans, of the Ghaznawis, of many dynasties, some of them might be aggressive and might not be strictly following the teachings of Islam. But it is, we can say, the Sultanate attitude, the Sultanate pride. Every Sultan wants to extend the land. This happened with regard the time in general, not only the Muslims. So it was not the teaching of Islam, it was some dynastic pride and the dynastic glory in trying to go beyond the borders. Islam might benefit from this expansion, but I tell you that no imposition and no coercion was done, at least in the beginning. Later, probably, some unjust things might happen. But in the beginning, there was no imposition of the faith, and the proof is that you find non-Muslim minorities in every Muslim country. If it is a matter of power, then everybody should become a Muslim or killed. This didn't happen. What happened until now, that you find non-Muslims in Egypt, in Pakistan, in Lebanon, in Iraq, in every land. You find non-Muslims surviving, but anyhow, we do not defend any sort of going beyond the borders of the teachings of Islam. And we should draw a line between history and the sacred sources. We may take examples of history as good practice of the Islamic teachings and following the Islamic sources. But in the same time, we should be honest enough and critical enough to figure out any sort of going beyond the borders of the teachings of Islam and say, beyond this, we do not agree. People now are Muslims, okay, it is their right to be Muslims. But historically speaking, we should not take history as all history as implementation of Islam. Early history is this, but later history may represent the human instincts of the monarchs. But this is the story. Early history, no coercion, no use or misuse of power. Later history might have something like this, but it is the right of the present generations to decide if they like to carry on or to abandon what their far ancestors might be forced to follow.